Hey, 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 welcome to the Nursing Dose with your host, Dr. Farah Laurent. For those who don't know me, I am the host of Nurses Making Business Moves Conference. And guess what? Today is the last day to secure your seats at this conference. And of course, tickets will only be available until midnight tonight, and then that's it. Registration closes. You don't want to miss out on getting into the room and really being a part of this experience, this movement, and experiencing this transformation. All right. So shout out to everybody watching. Let me know where you're watching from, what city, what country. Drop it in the chat. Super excited. It's literally happening in 2 weeks. And what is this conference about? Let's get into it. Okay, today's episode, I want to talk about growth. Are you growing or are you staying stagnant? And what is required for growth as nurses, whether you want to grow in your career or in your business, right? So that's what we're going to get into today. And like I said, for those who don't know me, I've been a nurse for over 20 years. Started out in emergency medicine, was told I couldn't do this, couldn't do that. Obviously, proved all of them wrong and proved myself right, which is the most important thing. Always constantly betting on myself throughout my career. Constantly, advancing my education, getting multiple degrees and certifications. And then I realized something a little bit more important, right? I started tapping into positioning and branding and how to position myself for success. And that's when opportunities started unlocking for me, right? So, again, 20-year career, started in emergency medicine, made my way as a brand new emergency nurse, even though I was told by my instructor that I would never be an ER nurse. I was like, all right, cool, watch me, right? So part of my messaging has always been be unstoppable, be bold, and go after what you want. And that is really the essence of growth, having faith and being rooted in your values and what you believe in. So that's number one. Later, moved into some education and leadership roles. Again, being told that I didn't have the soft skills to be a leader or an educator, right? And I didn't listen. I didn't listen to the haters, to the people trying to keep me small. And the same message goes for you. You may have been told no. You may have been, rejected, laid off, doors closed. But I want you to know that it is obviously redirection. And sometimes it's God protecting you and helping you understand that you have a greater purpose and greater impact. And guess what? Growth hurts, right? They talk about growing pains. It is not easy to grow. You have to remove yourself from your comfort zone, what you're typically used to. And this is what the Nurses Making Business Moves is all about. Okay. And I want nurses to know that you're not just a nurse like some people describe themselves to be. Nursing is one of the greatest professions, and I want people to know I'm not knocking nursing down. I always elevate and uplift our profession, but I want nurses to understand the scope. There is so much more to nursing than just bedside. If you love bedside, great, cool. I actually am a nurse career coach, and I help new graduate nurses get into the hospital, get into positions that they really love, like the ED, the ICU, labor and delivery, NICU. I am for supporting new grads starting wherever they want. I just have a different philosophy, a different mentality when it comes to nursing. I don't prescribe to the old narratives, the old school narratives. I'm all about breaking free from the traditional narratives that keep you stuck, right? You can do more than one thing as a nurse, right? You can still be a nurse, start a side hustle, have multiple streams of income. This is what Nurses Business Moves is about. It's about growth in your career, growth in your business, and thinking beyond traditional patterns, right? Breaking free from that. There are nurses that are currently in tech roles, in marketing, working for corporate, not in a clinical setting, but non-traditional roles. So this is what I want: nursing students, new graduate nurses, nurse leaders, educators, and beyond to understand. Entrepreneurship is about shifting from the employee mindset more to the entrepreneurial mindset and understanding what opportunities are out there. You're constantly scanning your environment, scanning the marketplace to understand, hey, what can I bring to the marketplace in terms of creativity, innovation, and solutions? And I want nurses to think bigger picture. This is what I'm about. I'm a visionary. This is why I created the Nurses Making Business Moves conference. And it's more than a conference, it's an actual movement. It's a different way to think and approach nursing and healthcare. And I invite you to join us March 6th and 7th in Tampa, Florida. It's happening at the University of Tampa in their Entrepreneurship Center. How cool is that? We get to be in an innovative space where entrepreneurs gather and are, launching their businesses. And it's a beautiful space. And not only will it be a beautiful space where you can exchange ideas, be in connection with other nurses and entrepreneurs, because this conference is not just for nurses. There are marketers, social media influencers, speakers, sales trainers, finance experts. I am bringing business and nursing and putting it together into one room where you can connect. Literally, one connection can change your whole career, can change your whole business and life, right? And this is about growth. Like, let's stop being stagnant. Let's stop going to the same things we go to all the time, hanging out with the same people. We need to be challenged and to expand our mindset, be in different environments, and be around different people so that you can start making that impact that you want to make. So last year, nurses left and entrepreneurs left with collaborations, partnerships, actual clients, have launched their businesses, written books, have spoken on stages just from this one weekend attending the conference. Okay, so again, who is this conference for? It's for any nursing student, new graduate nurse, educator, nurse leader, anyone in nursing and beyond, if you are business minded. This also goes for all the entrepreneurs. You don't have to be in healthcare to attend. Anyone is welcome to attend. Okay. I also have promo codes for nursing students. If you are interested, DM me, because today's the last day to secure your ticket. We'll have students from the University of Tampa that are coming, and also beyond. There are nurses coming from Canada, Australia, the UK, and of course, all different states in the US. Last year, we had 20 different states represented. Okay. So shout out to everybody on TikTok. Let me know if you have any questions, comments. Shout out to everybody on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And I appreciate the comments and the questions. Just drop them in. I will also drop where you can get your tickets. So you can actually come in person to Tampa, March 6th and 7th. It's over a weekend, a Friday and Saturday. You can go to nursesmakingbusinessmoves.com to purchase your ticket. And listen up. If you can't make it in person, we have now added a virtual option. So there's no excuse. Anybody can join from anywhere, okay? Globally. I have people that will be joining from the UK, Canada. You can purchase a virtual ticket as well. at the same site. You can go to nursesmakingbusinessmoves.com and purchase your ticket. Let me know in the comments if you purchase your ticket. Drop it in the comments. I will shout you out for getting a virtual ticket and, taking the next step to growth. I will shout you out whether you're on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. All right. And if you do secure an in-person ticket, also drop that. I will love to shout you out, answer any questions that you guys may have in the chat. And if you happen to be watching the replay, same thing. If you purchase your ticket and you want to say, something, you have a question, drop it in the chat, and I'll definitely shout you out at a later time as well. So again, today, Friday, February 20th, is the last date that you could secure your ticket so that you can be part of this movement and not just watch from the sidelines, right? And again, no excuse. You can show up in person, which is, obviously more transformational when you're in the actual room, connecting with people in person, having these conversations, having that proximity to other people who have been doing this in business and growing in their career. You can ask them questions in person and be right there. Okay. So let's talk about growth, right? So many of us have a lot of fears. We stay stuck. We talk to the wrong people or are in the wrong circles, because what happens is misery loves company, right? If someone is not happy with their current situation, their current career, or maybe they're just feeling stuck, uncertain, lost, there's a lot of fear, and you keep hanging around that person. If you have any ideas, any creative ideas, maybe you have a business idea, maybe you want to be, a consultant or a coach, or you want to write a book, or you want to start a podcast, whatever creative idea, you mention it to these circle of people that you hang with, and let's say they can't see your vision. Of course, they're going to shoot it down. They're going to shoot it down like it's their full-time job. They're going to be like, what are you talking about? You want to start a podcast? Oh, there's so many podcasts out there. Yours is not going to work. What do you want to do? Be a speaker? Oh, it's so hard to break into speaking. What do you want to do? Have events, just like my conference, for example. I had a conference last year. It was called Money Moves at that time. I reached out to a couple people, one particular person that I respected and admired who was in business for quite some time. I reached out to her and told her about my idea about this conference. And she was like, yeah, I don't think it's going to work. I don't think you should do it. You need a year to plan. Nobody's going to buy tickets. No one's going to come. This idea, like, I just wouldn't do it, right? And I was like, wow, okay. So I hung up the phone, and right away I was like, I'm doing it. I'm throwing this conference. I don't care if I have less than 3 months. I will make it happen. And that's the type of energy, that's the type of growth that I'm talking about. Taking a chance, betting on yourself, and making things happen. Let me know if this is resonating with you. Put grow in the comments if this is resonating. Let me know if you want to make business moves. Put business moves in the comments. Okay. And if you're looking to make some money moves, same thing. Put that in the comments, because that's what we're doing at the Nurses Making Business Moves conference. We're having these conversations, normalizing, talking about building wealth as a nurse, normalizing nurses starting businesses. I dropped a LinkedIn post earlier in the week, and only about 1% to 2% of nurses globally own businesses. We're really underrepresented when it comes to entrepreneurship. Over the last few years, there have been a lot of nurses going into entrepreneurship. I actually just got off the phone with a nurse. She actually has a pretty big following on Instagram. She's a nurse practitioner. Shout out to her, Ebony. She'll be coming to the conference. She's based out of Tampa, Florida. And we were just talking about business growth and how important it is to invest back into your business and also invest in yourself in order for you to grow. Nurses have no problem spending money on ACLS, BLS, all those clinical style certifications, right? We'll drop 100K or more on a nursing degree program. And again, I love education. Don't get me wrong. I have a master's in education and I have a doctorate in organizational leadership. But guess what? Nurses are sometimes afraid to drop a couple $100 to be at an event that will literally change their mindset and literally change the way they think and act and move and transform their whole career in business, right? You need to stop questioning that and see that as an investment. So many people are in fear right now, stuck in this space, marinating in all this uncertainty, and are afraid to make moves. And when you get stuck in that type of place, that's when you stay stagnant. That's when you start doubting yourself, doubting your abilities, doubting your potential. And then you're hanging on to your money because you think if you save more money, you'll make more money. And that is wrong, right? Actually, shout out to Ebony. I was talking to her on the phone. I think she said something like scared money doesn't make money, something like that, right? You need to be able to invest. And these are some of the foundational principles and fundamentals of business that we're going to be discussing at the Nurses Making Business Moves conference. Even if you're not ready just yet to start a side hustle, maybe you don't know how to go about starting a business, you have a business idea, still come to this conference. You will learn so much. Business foundation is an imperative to your career growth. And then when you are ready to start a business, or at least explore what you can do, whether you want to go into speaking, writing a book, starting a podcast, maybe creating a course, becoming a consultant or a coach, you will have those foundational principles. And you're going to be around people that are going to be encouraging and map it out for you, give you the step-by-step play, condense all the time of you just trying to figure it out on your own in a community that is already doing what you want to do. And that is growth, getting out of your comfort zone. Shout out to everybody who's just joining. If you're just joining me, my name is Dr. Farah Laurent. I'm talking about Nurses Making Business Moves, which is a conference that I am a host and founder of. The mission of this conference is to equip nurses and entrepreneurs with foundational business skills and education, also with financial literacy and wealth building strategies, and to get you to move towards an entrepreneurial mindset and leave the employee mindset behind. Who is this conference for? Students, nurses, executives, educators, nurse practitioners, and beyond the nurse. Anybody that wants this to, build their business acumen, learn more about business, whether you're in marketing, finance, you're a social media content creator, whatever it is, all are welcome. Okay. This is really what this conference is about, is building a community of people that are business minded and are at the center, ready for growth, ready for the next move. And this is the community that's going to help you make those moves and those next steps. Okay. So let me know in the comments for anybody that has gotten a virtual ticket, or if you got in-person ticket, let me know right now. Put it in the chat. I will shout you out. You can go to nursesmakingbusinessmoves.com to purchase your in-person ticket or your virtual ticket, and I will shout you out. The ticket is good for 2 days. What do you get? Obviously, networking, the transformation that happens when you're in the room, and these connections, right? So on the Friday, March 6th, you will be there from 5 to 9. We will have cocktail, cocktails, open bar, DJ Riri's coming all the way from Miami. We're going to have a bunch of networking, light dinner, right? And it's going to be a space where you're going to have access to resources and access to information, access to all the speakers and other attendees. And when I say other attendees, just because they're not speaking on stage doesn't mean that they don't have a wealth of knowledge. The attendees alone, like, can be literally keynote speakers on business and growth and career growth in nursing and entrepreneurship. Okay. So that's what you'll get Friday night. And on Saturday, it's the full day conference. It's on Saturday, March 7th. Registration, the doors open at 7:30. There will be vendors, exhibitors there in the morning and all day. And they'll also be there on the Friday. We do have a couple tables left. So if you're in the Tampa area or beyond and you want a table, whether it's to sell a product, a service, or maybe you wrote a book or something like that, we do have tables available if you want to be an exhibitor. Also, there is still sponsorship packages available. If you want to come support, please direct message me. I have multiple different packages available. Come be a part of this movement. Get your business and brand in front of nurses and other entrepreneurs, okay? As my good friend, Dr. Kimberly Madison says, nurses are investable. Invest in nurses, right? So much is going on in the world. Come be a part of this movement and support nurses and entrepreneurs, and specifically females in business, okay? Because we need your support. If you're watching this and you can't attend in person, you could still sponsor and be a part of this and support. How else can you support? You can get a ticket, even if you're not coming in person, but you want to purchase a ticket for someone else. You can do that. You can donate as well. Direct message me. And any donation counts if you want to contribute to this movement, to this mission of nurses making business moves. Okay. So yeah, Saturday, 7:30 registration. It goes to 5:30. We're going to have various speakers. Shout out to Veronica Safoa. She's coming all the way from the UK. She'll be the keynote speaker. Then I'll be speaking about branding and my journey to entrepreneurship and how I created the conference and, made it to above 6 figures with a side hustle, still working full time, being a mom and a wife and all those things, and how you can do it too. Because I know a lot of you are thinking, well, I don't know, I'm working full time. I can't start a business. Let me tell you, I started a business while going to doctoral school, my DNP, while working full time in a leadership position as a director. 2 small kids. My daughter was just a few months old and my son was 4. And of course, my husband, right? Being married and keeping all that intact while building my business, creating content, all the things. So you'll hear about my story. You'll hear from Trish Lindo, who has been on, worked for multiple businesses like Oprah, LinkedIn, and she is an expert in content creation and also branding. She will be speaking. Then we have, we'll have lunch, we'll have breakfast and all of that. And then in the afternoon, you'll hear from Shaquana Chappelle, who is an executive presence coach about, what to wear, confidence, all those things. She'll be speaking. And then we also have Jennifer Zahurek, who has built her business to 7 million in revenue. So shout out to her. She'll talk about her education company, also former ER nurse. And I'm going to wrap this up in just a minute. We also have Precious L. Williams, the Rainmaker. She was on Shark Tank. She's a sales trainer, a national pitch champion. She will be hosting the pitch competition that we have. We're going to close out with that. And then, of course, we have Danielle McCamey, Dr. Kimberly Madison, Dr. Kwan, and Devin Patterson on a panel. So you don't want to miss it. It's jam-packed. I got to go. I will be on live later today. Go get your tickets. Today is the last day to purchase your tickets. nursesmakingbusinessmoves.com. I'll see you in Tampa. I will see you virtually. Get your tickets. Let's grow and let's stop being stagnant and stop letting fear stop you from doing what you want to do. I'm Dr. Farah. Thank you for watching. I'll come on live later.